Rudrani and welcome to Zoom's Happy Space. Today I'll be chatting with one of my favorite women in the film industry. I call her favorite because of the ideals that she stands up for, because of the work that she's done, and because of who she is. I'm quite sure she's going to make this happy space a happier space. I'm, of course, talking about the very talented, extremely inspiring Sushmita Sen. Hello, Sushmita.
Holy baby, what a lovely introduction. Now I can go home. But everything's done for the day. I got this wonderful, wonderful introduction from an equally wonderful woman who's looking stunning, by the way. I love the way you're looking.
What is your happy space? I think for a lot of people, you are their happy space and your Instagram because it's so inspiring and positive.
It is a happy space. I second that. My Instagram, very much like my heart, is a happy space.
But what is truly your happy space? That space that automatically puts you in that really great mood and that really secure feeling.
This is going to make you feel, it's going to sound very mushy, but it is a fact. My younger daughter, Lisa, she's 11. When I put my head on her lap, the world ceases to exist. It's like my happiest place ever because in so many ways I feel like the cycle of life is complete because that little girl was in a bag on my chest and I would carry her around for nearly 2 years. I have very strong shoulders thanks to her. When I lie down on her lap, I feel like the world is a beautiful place, that everything comes to fruition in this world and that I am safer than any other place in the world that I could be is when I put my head on her lap. The reason I say that is because she, from a very young age, mothers me. She has that quality, you know. So even though my mom lives in Dubai, when I want to feel mothered, that's my happy place. I can put my head on her lap and forget about everything.
Like we were discussing very sadly, I would have loved to do this sitting right there behind those comfortable cushions with my leg up in a corner discussing about...
You should see the flip-flops I'm wearing under this Carolina Herrera dress.
So I think after Aarya, I'm sure you're raring to go out there again to get like to be on another set, right?
Yes.
And shooting and doing all of that. But the world is different, Sushmita. Yes. It's going to be so different. You have been shooting during this time. I want to know how this shoot has been. You know, you've been shooting now, you've been promoting the same thing right now.
No, very lovely question you ask, because we all thought that for being social animals, social creatures, this social distancing business is going to be very hard to do, you know. But it's incredible, us human beings. We adapt to just about anything and then make it the new normal. So I was very, very lucky that I got to work with a team like Mintra Fashion Superstar, with Bani J and the entire team that works, including my own team, that respected the rules, followed the systematic, you know, whatever were the requirements. I mean, we got tired of putting the damn test in our nose, in the nostril and in the throat. And we had regular intervals testing, and we were luckily in an environment where people had proximity. Nobody was forcefully trying to stay away from each other. But if this was a film set, that would be different. Since this was a show, it was intimate in its own space. Sure. Of course, my one judge was sitting here, the other judge was sitting like there. But we were there, we were talking to each other, we were interacting with each other. Now I'll move on to Aarya season 2, which has...
Yay! We'll take a moment to do that yay bit. I'm going to be cheering for you for a bit.
This is super exciting because if you thought season 1 was empowering, you should watch season 2. There was a feature film that I was to do in the middle of Aarya season 1 and season 2. But man proposes, God disposes. I've been saying that for all of this time when the lockdown happened. So pre-production couldn't happen on time. And hence, we ran out of that window. And now Aarya season 2 is my top priority because I've given them dates way back. So I now film that first. And once that gets over, then I move on to the feature film.
Is the fact that even when you were at the peak of your career, and I still think that everything that you did had value to it even then, you made such incredible choices. Not just your characters, you also pointed out things that you didn't want to do. Like, you've questioned item songs, you've questioned the lyrics of it.
Yeah.
No, but I really think, and people know it, obviously, but we don't give you enough credit for it. Not that you're asking, but I want to. And I feel like,
Not that you're asking. I love you. Yeah. I love
no, but I mean, today we talk about how women are standing up and saying we need better roles. We don't want to be appendages in films. We don't want to just be, okay, we are celebrating sexuality, but why are you degrading us into objects? And questions like this today are asked more, but you started this conversation way early. I want to understand how difficult or how satisfying that feeling today is. Difficult then, I'm sure, because you were among the few.
right about
So I want to know that because it's very interesting for me.
very simple saying in English, which is so true that if you understand the very simple meaning of this line, your life will change. I swear to you, your life will change.
Okay.
We teach people how to treat us.
So true.
And that, if you understand in your life, you stop blaming pops and their sundries for all the misgivings that you've had to suffer. You take responsibility for them. So, if I said I won't work beyond an 8-hour shift, which becomes a 10-hour because I have to do hair and makeup and then do an 8-hour shift, what would come out of people's mouths is she's unprofessional, she's difficult to work with. I mean, so and so are bigger stars than her and they don't throw a tantrum, and look at what this is. I mean, who does she think she is? I had all of this at a very, very early on in my life because I became a mum at 24.
Yeah.
So my life was about, I have to compartmentalize and I've got to be back. So when I'm filming, I'm not being a mum. At that point, I'm not checking my phone. I'm not calling home. I'm not doing any of that. I've taken care of family and friends and borrowed help to look after Renee for those many hours so I can focus on this. But when it's backup time, even if the hero came 6 hours late, I start removing my makeup. And that became a huge problem because how can she leave? So-and-so has just arrived, things like that. It was very, very difficult for me at that point to speak my mind. But because I have always told people, shown them how to treat me, I didn't leave them a choice but to accept it. Because that's the only way I would work. And so if anybody came and said, your career will be over if you continue working like that. So I'd say, oh, I didn't know you owned the business. Yeah. So then they'd be like, no, but this is not done in the scheme of things. And I said, well, then that's because you're okay with it. You don't mind being treated like that. But I have a problem with it. So if I have to sit at home because I've got to work in my way, then I'll sit at home, I'll raise my daughter, I've got lots to do in my life. I'll do that. But when I work, I want to work. I don't want to wear hair and makeup and wait for six hours for a hero to show up on sets. And then wait longer because now that he showed up, I must continue shooting because I do have other facets to my life. So it's been hard. Is it gratifying today? Hell yeah. It's a personal victory because I've realized that when they say, things take time, but if you're consistent, it will bear results. I've seen it happen in my life. It's been a core belief and I've seen it happen. So it was a lovely question you asked.
Oh, that's fantastic. And what a lovely, anecdote that you gave me out there.
To this day, it bothers me that people even do the same with Aishwarya and me. As if comparing the two or comparing their features or how beautiful she is and how well-spoken I am has got anything to do with the very definition of two completely different people.
Now, of course, there's a lot of conversation of women supporting women.
Yes.
But I've had conversation with so many wonderful, strong actors who pointed out saying that forever we've been living in this bubble that your only competition is your next female colleague or your female actor, and they pit you against each other to sort of fight for that one seat. But that's not how the world is at all, isn't it? Tell me about how you've always endorsed this, of course, the fact that we need to come together and be there for each other, and how the spirit of competition should be in a way to only, uplift each other and not to bring you down.
Lovely question, actually, that has multi-layer of understanding. You see, my life started with a series of competitions, and they happened to be competing with women, right?
Yeah.
On the basis of some pretty superficial stuff, like beautiful body and most photogenic and most this and most that. And yet, I was intrigued by one of the preliminary competitions that used to be called Miss Congeniality,
Yeah.
the one that your co-competitors votes for. That's hard, is when you realize that in relativity we grow. You want to know how good you are.
Mm.
If you
Mm.
are put in a relative environment with other amazing people,
Absolutely.
you can assess your standing
Mm.
outside of yourself.
Yeah.
But that in no way means that's your ultimate potential, nor does it mean that what you're looking and comparing with is their ultimate potential.
Mm.
You're all at different stages of evolution.
Mm.
But I genuinely do believe that actresses looking at each other as just competition is selling themselves short. Because you don't have to be friends with an actor, with an co-actor to show sisterhood. You don't have
Yeah.
to be. Not everybody has to be friends.
Mm.
But you should know that in a given environment, the one person who would get your back, would have your back, is but a woman of your own sex because she understands you. She
Yeah.
knows what you must be going through far more than anyone else.
Absolutely.
If someone turns around and says, "Hey, she's looking so stunning in the song, man, you really need to up your game because look at the way she's looking," for another co actor, I find that hilarious. Instead of sitting there going, "Wow, she is looking amazing." You know,
Yeah.
to this day, it bothers me that people even do the same with Aishwarya and me, as if comparing the two or comparing their features or how beautiful she is and how well spoken I am has got anything to do with the very definition of two completely different people.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm definitely for competing with one's own self. And if you can't better your own self, how can you compare yourself with potential you don't even know?
We've been in the lockdown.
Yeah.
So, if you got an opportunity to be with a very entertaining person from the film industry to be in quarantine with, who would you pick and why?
I think for the sake of, because me, when I say alone, I am I am me plus three right now. Renee, Alisa, Roman, myself, right? So the one person we'd love to be locked down with is Lily Singh because she's a hot favorite of all four people and we just love her. So we'd love to be locked down with her. There won't be a moment of being serious. She's so fantastic.
That's amazing because also she's so funny. It's just going to be, you're going to have a really good time.
Yeah, I just love her. I think she's got a great sense of awareness and she's brilliant with what she does.
I don't think it is possible, but tell me, has Rini or anybody else from your family ever told that, okay, now we've been together for a while in this quarantine. I think this is annoying about you. I think it's not possible. Is there something like that they point out ever?
No, the thing is, we are basically not people we are people who like to stay home.
Ah,
When we travel, that's when we go out.
correct.
So we have a very routine life, and our outings, we have to sleep at a certain hour because we have an early morning school. It's pretty routine because of the younger one. For example, now we're planning to leave for Dubai. This would be our first break. We're going to, I have a home in Dubai, so we'll go there and we'll be there for a good 2 months. This is
Okay.
going to be the time off. Time off before I start Aarya season 2. So this is going to be fun. This is going to be going to Nana's house. My mom lives in Dubai as well. So there's going to be a lot of family time.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that. But otherwise, we really tolerate each other very, very well.
That's great. Because I don't think
Or maybe I have to now wait for Renee to be a year older for her to start telling me. Because up until now, we've kind of treated her like she's my older baby only. But now this grown-up adult has a say and all will probably start from next year.
Yeah. What is one thing you feel you've discovered something new about yourself during this time?
The fact that I think I am uh, very strongly sensing that each one of us, me for sure, I am sensing that my power of manifestation is getting stronger. The things
Wow.
that I'm focusing on, the lockdowns allowed me a lot of time to do that. What I did not realize is that I was going to manifest only 15 years younger kind of, romance. That I didn't know, and that I would find it on Instagram. I didn't know that he would turn out to be a pretty evolved person for someone 15 years younger.
My last segment, it's really fun. It's called the Game of Pictures.
Game
Very
of
simple.
Okay.
Very simple, Sushmita. So I picked up some really very sweet, motivating, amazing pictures of yours. And all you have to do is tell me the story behind him, what you feel when you look at the picture. All right. Then.
Okay, done. Ready.
Are you ready?
Ready.
I know it's very filmy to say it, but I think family does come first.
Yeah. So this is my cousin sister's wedding. Yes, it's happening in Jaipur. And when I look at this picture, I see the last 25 years of my life, because my cousin sister's father, so I call her my cousin sister. Actually, her father is my very dear friend from 25 years. His name is Ram Prasad. And when I look at this picture, my father and him there together, I feel like I'm the most protected kid in the whole wide world.
It says 5th May 2016. You had put up this picture, okay. Of this picture which says, haven't put a face to him, in quotes, yet.
Yes.
To this image is perfect for my vision board.
Yeah.
Respect, love, friendship, companion, bucket list, romance. And that is the picture.
Oh my God, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you are spooky, girl. Because, no, that's right. Because I was very deeply sensing. See, I'm not one of those romantics who believes that I need a man to complete me and I need this and that. Never felt like that in my life. Thank God for it, because I believe only things can make a romance. Half and half don't make a romance,
Yeah.
So I knew in my heart of hearts that I was going to have the most incredible romance that would be a manifestation of many bucket lists. I usually don't put conditions on things, because I believe things come at the right time, help you grow, and then they move away. That's part of life. But some things you wish would stay and grow with you, right? So I was like, come on. It's time to experience that as well. What I did not realize is that I was going to manifest only 15 years younger kind of, romance. That I didn't know, and that I would find it on Instagram. I didn't know that he would turn out to be a pretty evolved person for someone 15 years younger. Because, shallow don't work for me. It has to have depth.
Yes.
Has been beautiful. And my kids, him, me, we make a team. I love you for pulling that particular post out.
I love you.
Manifested that. I have manifested it.
Just and to further your point, and I was going to show this, you put out these really heartfelt posts out, and you have, of course, this picture is something that I really, really like.
I love that picture.
Because, besides the fact that there's a feeling of wanderlust and the fact that we want to go big, go out there.
Secret. My daughter shot that picture.
Oh my God, she's so good. I was going to ask you, who clicks these pictures?
Yeah, but you'll be surprised. My younger daughter shot that picture.
Oh my God. Anita. I think it's just, and like you said, it's simple. Your hashtag is #love. That's the that's the caption. It's simple. But I'm saying truly today, and I think you've moved beyond these conversations of, like you mentioned, age and stuff. And of course, there are these, regressive people on the internet who sometimes will pop up and bring out the age factor, who nobody really cares about. But you deal it with so much of dignity and grace, and you actually doesn't bother you. How do you keep yourself calm is what I want to know.
I think I've stuck by that other rule in my life, other than the first one I taught you today, was remember girl, you got to remember that one. We teach people how to treat us. One. And second, most important, When someone says it can't be done, they simply mean they can't do it. It doesn't mean you can't do it.
Yeah.
So I think when we get lost in public opinion too much, we sacrifice on the very nature of our own happiness. I was out to experience life and in walked love, and he happened to be 15 years younger. So be it. As long as I felt happy and I felt love and it was mutual and it came with a sense of belonging, I own my life. I don't leave it open for public approval or disapproval. I teach them how to treat me.
Absolutely. And here, I also want to say it gives us hope to all millennials, because yours is a very true blue millennial romance in a sense, like Instagram, like sending
Yeah, yeah,
messages.
yeah. And the funniest is, of the millions of requests, his message opens up. This was meant to be. And I often say, Babu, you've got to believe in love. Don't put a face to it.
I'll end up on this very beautiful note of your family. You're
Oh,
hugging your mother and your
there's my
brother.
mom.
The note is, I never grew old enough to stop doing. We never will. Mom can't believe we still behave like this in public. It's a happy picture. The child in you never is going to go away. And of course, the women in our lives who make us who we are. So tell me all about it.
Well, this one, my mom, she's lucky that in public I don't come to her tummy and go "Brrr," because I used to do that ever since I was a baby. I still do it in front of people, and they can't believe it. And my mother's like, "Ki kochi she on the floor, ki kochi sabara dekhche." Everyone's looking, stop it and all. And I'd be like, "Nah, amar ma ami ja achhi korbo." My mother, I'll do whatever I want. So no, when it comes to my mother. She loves to know that her children grew to be 6'5", which is my brother, and 5'8", which is me. And we went in different ways in our lives. But the one thing that grounds us like nobody's business is Ma and Baba.
Yeah.
The two people in our lives who I am Titan, and that's Raja. That's it.
Yeah.
We'll never be anything more than that when it comes to them. So yeah, I still behave like a monkey. That picture is taken in Zuma in Dubai, in the midst of a lot of people looking at us and saying, "Oh, that's a Bollywood actress. That's Sushmita Sen. All this is going on, and what is she doing? Grabbing my mom and doing all of these crazy things."
But that's fabulous. Thank you so much, Sushmita.
I love you so, so much. Keep looking stunning and that beautiful smile. Bhalo theko ma.
Thank you so much. Bhalo theko. Khub bhalo laglo. Lots of love once again.
Duga, duga.